Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. Look, if you've ever felt like you're doing literally everything right, but somehow you still end up with way too much month at the end of your money, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking a really hard look under the hood at the mechanics of our daily finances. We're going to completely dismantle the real reasons so many of us find ourselves stuck in that relentless paycheck to paycheck cycle. It's going to be a fascinating breakdown, so let's just jump right in. Why do we stay broke? It's a heavy question, isn't it? Most people instinctively point straight to their income. They think, if I just got that raise or if I just had a higher salary, all my financial stress would magically disappear. But we're going to shatter that widespread myth right here, right now. The data shows us time and time again that a lack of earnings is actually not the primary reason for ongoing financial struggle. Your salary is really just one piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it's usually not the piece that's actually broken. Here's the real gut punch. The true villains in our financial lives, they're completely invisible to us, mostly because they're just everyday routines. They are 5 specific, deeply ingrained habits that most people repeat every single month without even realizing it. It's not what you earn, it's how you process what you earn. So our whole mission in this explainer is to pull back the curtain, break down exactly what these 5 habits are, and most importantly, figure out exactly how to fix each and every one of them, starting today. Section 1. The real money problem. Okay, so think about habit number 1, spending before saving. The backwards method is what almost everybody does, right? Your salary comes in, you spend on whatever you want or need throughout the month, and then you try to save whatever happens to be left over at the very end. The problem is, well, usually absolutely nothing is left. But the wealth method, it completely flips the script. Salary comes in, you save first, and then you spend what remains. I know, it sounds incredibly simple, almost too simple, right? But seriously, do not underestimate this. Implementing this wealth method, paying yourself first before the money can disappear into the chaos of everyday life, is literally the single most powerful system you can automate. As the source material makes incredibly clear, this one change alone fixes almost everything else on this list. It actually forces your budget to adapt to your saving goals, rather than just crossing your fingers and hoping your savings will somehow survive your spending habits. Section 2. Cash flow and tracking. So let me ask you a quick question. What did you spend on food delivery last month? Or coffee? Or, those random online subscriptions? This brings us to habit number 2, having absolutely no idea where the money actually goes. If I asked most people to guess their food delivery spend, they'd be off by thousands of dollars over the course of a year. It's a massive blind spot. We simply cannot fix what we don't track. The money just sort of evaporates. And at the end of the month, we're left scratching our heads, wondering what on earth happened. But hey, fixing this doesn't require complex spreadsheets or some super expensive budgeting software. The fix is actually a shockingly simple 30-day challenge. All you need is a basic note app right there on your phone. For the next 30 days, just log every single expense, every coffee, every delivery, every little impulse buy. The sheer awareness that this simple tracking builds, it will completely shock you. It takes those invisible routines and drags them right into the light, where you can actually do something about them. Section 3. Credit and crises. And this brings us to habit number 3, using credit to fund a lifestyle you just can't afford. Credit cards and those buy now, pay later apps are incredibly dangerous, precisely because they're so frictionless. They make it entirely painless to spend money you simply don't have. The psychological barrier of physically handing over cash is totally gone. But the catch, of course, is that the bill inevitably arrives, and it usually brings its best friend, interest. This is the ultimate trap of habit 3. Think about it. If you're consistently using credit to buy things your current income can't support, you are not building wealth. You are just renting a lifestyle, and you're renting it at a massive premium. It's this vicious cycle where your future income is already spent paying off yesterday's consumption, which basically locks you out of building any real financial security. Which leads us directly into habit number 4, having no emergency fund. Just think about the common realities of life for a second. A sudden medical bill, a surprise job loss, a broken laptop right when you need it most. These aren't wild one-in-a-million events. These are just regular parts of being human. But without a financial cushion, just one of these unexpected expenses forces people straight into debt. One bad month is literally all it takes to wipe out any progress you've made, throwing you right back to relying on those crazy expensive credit cards we just talked about. So the crucial point here is how we define the solution. An emergency fund is entirely defensive. It's a financial cushion specifically designed to protect the wealth you're already building from that one inevitable bad month. You aren't putting this money away to earn massive returns or you get rich quick. You're putting it away to act as a moat around your financial castle. It's what keeps the sudden crises of life from completely destroying your long-term progress. Section 4, the knowledge gap. All right, here's habit number 5, and it's a big one. Never actively learning how money works. Look, the hard truth is, most people were never taught financial literacy in school. They were just never taught the rules of the game. And sadly, they never go out and learn it themselves either. This is the ultimate roadblock, because this is the habit that compounds the other 4. When you don't really understand the underlying mechanisms of money, making mistakes with saving, spending, and credit is practically guaranteed. Take the concept of compounding, for example. It is a fundamental financial mechanic. Alongside things like inflation and the basics of investing, these are tools that can either work for you or entirely against you. But the very moment you decide to break habit 5, the moment you start actively educating yourself on concepts like compounding, everything else gets so much easier to fix. You suddenly understand why saving first matters so much and why credit card interest is so destructive. Knowledge really is the ultimate lever here. Section 5, systems over willpower. The best part about all of this, none of these solutions require you to just try harder. It's not about willpower. It's about setting up reliable systems. Step 1, automate your savings first. Step 2, track exactly where your money goes for 30 days to build that baseline awareness. Step 3, stop renting a lifestyle and use your credit intentionally. Step 4, build that defensive cash cushion. And step 5, just keep learning to make everything else easier. If you implement these 5 concrete steps, I promise you've already outpositioned most people financially. So, I want to leave you with this question to chew on. Which system will you implement today? Don't try to tackle all 5 at once if that feels overwhelming. Just pick one. Maybe you start that simple 30-day tracking note on your phone today. Or maybe you finally flip your saving and spending order for your very next paycheck. The key is to take immediate control of your financial habits before they take control of you. Break the cycle, build your systems, and start creating the wealth you actually deserve. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.